to Attack of the Remakes here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm checking out a sci-fi film from 2012. That movie is Total Recall. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I first saw the ads for this thing, I had no hope at all. Part of that is because the original Total Recall came out when I was a kid, and I've seen it countless times. I fucking love it. I personally believe it to be Schwarzenegger's best film ever. And the remake looks kind of empty, hollow, and stupid. Now, I noticed something, and I feel like sharing this. I don't often talk about the blurbs on DVD and Blu-ray covers, but this one here is kind of special, you see. Because on the front we have a normal blurb, normal empty, pointless blurb from Access Hollywood. Access Hollywood will praise anything if you fucking give them like $50 and a smile. But it's the one on the back that really caught me. It's the one blurb on the back. It says better than the original. Now, is this blurb from somebody at, like, say, like, Rolling Stone, or the New York Times, or Variety, or USA fucking Today? You know, is it from a source that matters? No. It's from some random no-name schlub on MySpace. MySpace. This movie came out in 2012. At that point, MySpace was about as irrelevant as they fucking get. They found the last sad bastard still using MySpace. Found a post he made about this movie and used that as their one positive blurb. Good God, that is a bad sign when you need to resort to MySpace and Facebook posts for your fucking blurbs on the cover. So yeah, that is not filling me with a whole lot of confidence. I have no earthly clue if this movie's going to be any good at all. I kind of hope so. But the only way I'm going to find out, guys, if this thing is even halfway decent, is if I shut up and I push play. And I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Total Recall. Alright. I totally understand that the point I'm about to make here is ridiculously trivial and stupid, but I feel like making it anyway. So this movie started off, talked about how the whole world got fucked in some gigantic war, and the only places which are still habitable by man are the UK and Australia. Why then does no one have an accent from either of those parts of the world? Why exactly is this movie set in either the UK or Australia, and everybody sounds like they're from the US? I understand it's trivial and stupid. I understand it should have, and I understand it has no bearing on the story itself. But goddammit, when you come right out and say that the whole world is left in place A and place B, two places with very well-known and established accents, and maybe one person so far has had that accent, it seems a little bit weird. At least to me it does. Alright, guys, I just want to say this right now. I'm really sick of all of the lens flare in this fucking movie. If you've seen J.J. Abrams' Star Trek film and you thought that was insane with the fucking lens flare, this honestly is making that look tame. Like, every shot's got so much fucking lens fucking flare, it's almost blindingly annoying. The very fact that the story here is going at a rather slow pace, the acting kind of sucks, and it just doesn't seem to have the same soul as the original Total Recall. All of that lens flare is just sort of making kind of a shit movie a little bit worse. I think the next 90 minutes is gonna really fucking suck. I really can't believe how bad this movie is, guys. It's Total fucking Recall. How the hell do you screw it up this badly? This story has absolutely none of the heart, the soul, or the spirit of the original Total Recall movie. Everything here just feels sort of hollow, empty, and forced, and every time that they make a reference to the original Total, Recall, the only thing that happens is it makes me wish I was watching that instead of this. My God, I can't wait for this piece of shit to be done. It's so fucking boring. I'm struggling to stay awake, guys. Wait, so if Cohagen's plan is to level the entire colony, level the entirety of Australia and rebuild so his people can live over there, there's already housing there. Tons of fucking housing. It looks identical to the shit that's over in the UFB over in England. Why the fuck level it all and rebuild? Why not just execute all the people and keep the buildings? I understand, guys. I'm trying to put logic in a movie that doesn't know the first fucking thing. But you know, if I was a military strategist, if I was trying to make my people happy, I wouldn't destroy perfectly usable housing in order to rebuild probably the exact same bullshit on top. I'm just saying, guys, it's just, I'm just hearing Cohagen's little goofy plan here. Doesn't sound logical to me. And it's kind of bugging me a touch. So wait a moment. I need to sort of wrap my head around this. So this big war that nuked most of the Earth has rendered most of it 100% unfucking inhabitable. Yet, one of these areas that was nuked and you can't freaking live in because the radiation is so bad, so high, so nasty, you can just waltz through it wearing nothing but a gas mask and a trench coat and you're fine. Methinks the opening of this film kind of sort of over-fucking played exactly how dangerous these areas are. If literally a gas mask is all you need to save yourself from certain fucking radioactive doom. Just saying, guys, it just feels a little bit stupid. Do you guys know what made the original Total Recall such an awesome movie? The fact that throughout the whole thing, and even all the way to the end, you couldn't tell if what was happening to Quaid was actually happening or if it was the memory he got from Recall. This movie, no. You can tell, you can feel that all of this is just him sitting in the chair getting the memory he's fucking paid for. It just doesn't feel realistic. It doesn't seem to gel with what happened in the first act. There was literally an almost audible thunk the moment that the recall memory kicked in. So I can't feel invested in any of this because it just feels so recall fake, you know what I mean? I totally understand that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but just god damn it, I cannot get into this because it doesn't feel real, you know what I mean? Well, guys, that was Total Recall. Thank fuck this piece of shit's done. Good fucking God. Okay. Jesus Christ, where to start? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to get this out of the way first and foremost. Let's compare the two films, shall we? Let's compare the original Total Recall, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and directed by Paul Verhoeven, and this thing. There is no question the original Total Recall is infinitely better on almost every level. I have to stress almost, because this movie, while horrendously flawed, does have a positive or two. Well, a positive that does make it stand out. I will get to that in a second. But if you're given the choice between this and the original Total Recall, go with the fucking original, because the original is so much fucking better. Oh my God. Okay, so let's just kick off with fucking writing. Holy shit, the writing. First of all, I mentioned the original Total Recall. This movie's got so many, callbacks to that film. Where someone like me, who's watched the original countless times, can pinpoint and tell every single one of the callbacks. We have the speech about how I knew this one guy who went there and his fucking brain got, fried. Almost word for word, the whole speech about how, and there was this guy who went down there, and he was going to get a memory and lobotomized him. That entire speech, almost word for word, lifted from the original to this fucking thing. the moment that the fantasy kicks in, provided that you believe that it was a fantasy in the original, happens at the exact same time. The hooker with the three tits is also in this movie, except she just sort of pops up out of nowhere as Quaid is going to recall. So she just basically is there for like 30 seconds, basically about the same length of time as the three-titted hooker in the original, and is there specifically because she was in the original. This movie does try to match the original story beat for beat, except where the original went to Mars and the whole story was about trying to terraform Mars. This is about a fucking war between Australia and the UK, because they're the only habitable lands left after some big nuclear war fucked over everything. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It makes it almost unfucking livable unless you have a gas mask. Then shit, by all means, wander around and just make sure your building is fucking, is fucking like hermetically sealed. Then boom, you're fine, rock on, just do your shit. They also hint at that too, because at one point Quaid is talking to someone and he mentions that he would like to go to Mars, which made me think that that was where the story was going to go once he got into the chair, because again, memories of the original recall. No, that right there is them totally just dick fucking teasing the viewer. The only other real, callback, which I thought was kind of funny a little bit, is the big scene at the fucking checkpoint, when in the original Schwarzenegger is dressed as a fat woman. Well, the fat woman's back, or someone who looks ridiculously similar, except she's not Quaid's disguise. The person after her is Quaid's disguise, and the scene itself just wasn't as good because it didn't seem to have the same kind of action oomph of the fucking original. The fact that in the remake it's literally just a gunfight with nothing else really going on. Guys, this movie found a way to make gunfights boring. Okay, I'm just gonna put that right out there, because one of the biggest problems that this movie has, outside of the constant callbacks to the first film, which are just more mocking the viewer, going, haha, you could have been watching something good, but you wanted to watch this. Pity for you. Anyway, besides the callbacks, just everything here just feels so dull. Everything from characters to action sequences. Guys, almost every gunfight in this movie is boring as shit to watch, because it's the same garbage you've seen in countless other action movies, and they're not really doing anything unique, interesting, or different. I will say, though, that they do have a chase sequence involving hover cars that looks really cool. That right there is probably the best scene in the entire fucking movie. However, though, that scene is only about 4, maybe 5 minutes long, and your movie's damn near 2 hours. So we have 5 minutes of interesting shit out of a 2-hour movie. The rest of this, you're going to be struggling to stay awake. It's that dull. It's that listless. It's that boring. Our characters all feel ridiculously lifeless. Guys, one thing I liked about the original Total Recall was the fucking personality that every character had. It really didn't matter if we were talking about Quaid, if we were talking about Cohagen, we were talking about any other character. They all had some level of personality, and you could actually find yourself caring. Here, everybody's fucking bland. Just as bland can get. And it makes the whole movie even more of a dull, boring chore. Now, I know that Quaid, when he goes in to recall the memory he wants is that of a secret agent. And you can almost tell that that's what they're going to go with, because when he's on the little elevator ride through the fucking center of the earth, he's seen reading an Ian Fleming James Bond novel. This movie feels like somebody is vaguely familiar with James fucking Bond, but doesn't know any of the, like, subtlety and awesome that goes into a James Bond movie. Because that seemed to be what they were shooting for when they went with Secret Agent. Going back to the whole secret agent thing. What I liked about the original Recall was that things were kind of subtle, and that's kind of why when the movie is done, a lot of people still are wondering if everything that happened was it something that actually happened, or was it all just Quaid's purchased recall, memory? This movie doesn't have any of that fucking subtlety. As Quaid is getting strapped into the chair, they are walking him through everything. It's like, well, and you could be a double agent now. Do you want to be a double agent for the UFB, or do you want to be for the colony? How about both? Hint, 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 hint. Foreshadowing. It's not even foreshadowing. It's fucking coming right out and saying, you're going to be playing a double agent. Fuck you, sit down. That's the... It basically is that, just blunt. And it's not fun to watch. So almost the moment that the fluid enters his fucking veins, you know that right that second... It has just kicked in, and the fucking recall memory has started, and it all feels so forced, and it doesn't have like that natural flow of the original Total fucking Recall. I want you guys to understand this. The original Total Recall went to fucking Mars and terraformed it. And that feels more realistic than anything that happens in this fucking thing. That is how bad the writing is. Now, while the fucking writing is ungodly bad, and I could probably talk about it for a long goddamn time, we need to discuss the acting. Because we have amongst our cast people who I know can act. Okay? I know that Bryan fucking Cranston can act. I know that Colin Farrell can act. I know that... God, who in the hell were the two female leads? Well, Jessica Biel, yeah, I didn't have any hope on Jessica Biel, and Kate fucking Beckinsale. Beckinsale can kind of act. Why then did nobody try in this fucking movie? Everybody sounds bored as shit. Guys, when I said that the characters were written in a very dull, bland fashion, I really didn't think that was going to be the actors' cues to put zero effort into trying to inject life into these boring characters, try to give them a little something. But no, there is not a single actor in this movie who tries. The one who shocks me the most is Bryan Cranston, because that man can act. I've seen him act in multiple things. And even in bad projects he's in, even in shitty movies or crappy TV shows that he is in, the motherfucker can act, and he can act circles around damn near everybody else. Here, he's probably the worst one here. Colin Farrell is out acting Bryan Cranston. I never thought I'd fucking say that at any time for any reason, but that's what's going on here. And Colin Farrell's barely fucking trying. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that the script directly calls for the entire global population to move to either the UK or fucking Australia. Yet maybe I can count on maybe one hand the number of actors who actually bothered to put on an accent that could be seen as either Australian or British, or fucking Irish or any of the other accents that go with the fucking UK. There's almost no accents to be found in this entire God-forsaken movie. Guys, everything here in terms of writing and acting is fucking awful, alright? It is. There is absolutely there is nothing fucking redeemable here in terms of writing or acting. I will say, we are now going to get to that one lone positive. Special effects in this movie look amazing. I talked about that high-speed hover car chase. It looks so awesome because of how well the CG is done. Okay? When characters have their little glowing hand fucking phone thing, that looks really cool. When they have to plant it on fucking glass and it causes a small fucking like display to show up. All of that looks really fucking cool. Special effects here, guys, are probably the one lone shining moment. Early on, as Quaid is getting to Recall, there are these people who have tattoos, and we see one of them getting one. and it's a pulsating, glowing tattoo, and it looks fucking amazing. The special effects on that were cool. The special effects on the fucking synths were cool. The whole thing about the synths, that kind of adds another question. I'm just gonna skew back over to writing for a sec. So, if Cohagen and the UFB are able to build these almost unstoppable synthetic soldiers, why the hell does he even bother having humanoid soldiers in the first place? Why the hell does he have his own citizenry fighting when he can just order more synths to be built? Quaid works at the fucking synth, factory, which is why he's able to beat one of the synths with no problem, because he knows how to fucking disable them instantly. But that really only applies to people who work in that factory and are specifically responsible for putting in the fucking power source, which apparently is right on the chest, about as shallow as you can get, because armor, the fuck, what the fuck is armor? So most people wouldn't know to shoot here, and just pop off the power source. Quaid did, because he works there. It seems a little stupid that they have the power core that shallow in the body, but oh well, I'm not gonna dwell on that. So you have these things, and they're damn near unfucking stoppable. Why do you have human soldiers? I mean, I can kind of understand having higher fucking ranked human operatives who can do what what in the fuck was her name? She was posing as Quaid's wife. I can't even remember her name. I don't even care. Because you need a human for that. So that makes sense. But to have your standard rank and file soldiers, why, when you have synths that apparently cost almost nothing to fucking build, and you can build them in the millions, you can build a fucking army in maybe a couple of days, why do you have human soldiers? It was something that just sort of bugged me. I'm sorry, I just wanted to segue into that, because I was just talking about the CG on the synths. And the CG there is cool. It is. The CG here, guys, and the special effects are really the one saving grace this movie has. All right, our soundtrack is boring, and when it isn't boring, it sucks. Oh my god, the lighting, the fucking lens flares. Whoever the fuck shot this, whoever the hell the director of photography was, who felt that we needed every single light source to flare out on camera, I want to gouge their fucking eyes out with a fucking light bulb. That was such a poor choice, and it makes your whole movie look ugly as fuck. It seriously, guys, is what damn near ruined J.J. Abrams' first attempt at a fucking Star Trek film. This thing has about 3 times the number of lens flares. And my god, it really does impact the movie when there's that fucking many. And it looks so ugly. Holy fuck. So yeah, lighting honestly sucks, simply because of the fucking lens fucking flare. The camera work is fine, minus the fact that we have all the fucking lens, flare. Really, guys, there's not much else I can say. This movie sucked. It sucked out loud. Is there any way I can recommend it? No. But I can totally recommend you go out and you buy the original Total Recall on Blu-ray. I'm not saying download or rent. Fucking buy it, because the goddamn thing is sitting in the Blu-ray bargain bin, no matter where you fucking go. You can get it for about $5, maybe $5 or $7. It's worth every fucking cent. That movie is amazing. This remake is shit. And Total Recall came off the Amazon wish list. I would love to tell you the person who sent it in, but I never got any kind of message, and there was nothing with the shipping invoice telling me who sent it. So I have no fucking clue. I would absolutely love to thank that person, because I was curious about this. I would love to give them a shout out for, be it their YouTube page or their DA page or whatever the fuck, but they didn't send anything, and that is really a pity. So to whoever sent me Total Recall, I thank you. I was really curious about this. I wanted to know if this thing was even close to the quality of the fucking original. It obviously wasn't, but I wouldn't have known that if you hadn't sent it in, and for that I thank you. You're awesome once more. I'd really love to give you a shout out, but I can't because I never got a message or anything else. So unfortunately, that person is not going to get named here, but at least I can say thank you, and I can throw this thing in the fucking trash. Now, you know, I didn't watch the original Total Recall before jumping into this, which is a good thing, because now I'm going to go fucking watch that, because, goddammit, I wanted to watch Total fucking Recall. When I think of Total Recall, I think of Terraforming Mars. This movie just has like an offhand mention of, I would like to go to Mars. No, fuck this movie. This thing was shit. Absolute garbage from start to finish. So, I'm going to go watch the original Total, Recall, and I'm going to try to pretend this fucking thing never ever existed. And with that, my friends, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.